The more wokeness we're seeing in society and the more we learn of things like gender ideology and the further left we go, I don't think it's a coincidence that we're seeing more of Satan as well. Welcome to my channel, Outspoken Samantha. If you are new here, welcome. I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button. And if you're returning, welcome back. I truly appreciate your continued support on my channel, especially as we have these conversations about things that I really think we need to be talking about, particularly those of us trying to raise kids in the insanity known as today's society. So as I said, I have noticed this uptick in satanic representation in society, and I don't think that that is a coincidence. The more that people embrace very chaotic and destructive ideas, it is not a coincidence that they would embrace the ultimate symbol of chaos and destruction. And growing in popularity now are after-school Satan clubs and Satan summer camps for our children. According to this article from Breitbart, it says after-school Satan clubs are reportedly gaining popularity and are not likely to slow down as their supporters rack up media attention and legal wins fighting for free speech, The Hill reported on Tuesday. The clubs, which are associated with the Satanic Temple, are currently only offered in primary schools, although the Satanic Temple is looking to expand into high schools, according to the report. The school clubs began in early 2020 and were viewed by some as an alternative to religious clubs, campaign director for the after-school Satan Club, June Everett, told the outlet. That's kind of when things started blowing up, and I anticipate that every year moving forward is going to get busier and busier, Everett said. The report claims that despite the association with the Satanic Temple, the students are not actually getting proselytized to or instructed in devil worship. Oh, well, I know I'm relieved. Rose Bastet, who has been involved with the Satanic Temple for 4 years, claimed that the clubs are not interested in having children identify as Satanists and said her club focuses on learning about different animals. Does that mean animal sacrifice? So if you were uncomfortable with this idea before, the co-founder of these after-school Satan clubs just wants to reassure you that they're not looking to convert kids. So one of these events that was supposed to be held in Chesapeake, Virginia, did spark outrage by parents, and so the co-founder of these satanic clubs for children responded, saying the spokesperson and co-founder behind the Satanic Temple responded to outraged parents and critics opposing his proposed after-school Satan club, insisting no one's trying to convert children to Satanism, which has roiled a Virginia town. The city of Chesapeake, Virginia, has become the focus of national attention after the Satanic Temple, described as a non-theistic religious group, attempted to establish an after-school Satan club, ASSC, for the kids at the local B.M. Williams Primary School. Lucien Greaves, who co-founded the group in 2012, told Fox News Thursday that the club is being proposed as an alternative to other religious after-school groups, adding that his intention is to promote free speech and religious liberty among children. Obviously, we don't view Satan as evil, and it really doesn't matter to us what your mythology is surrounding Satan, Greaves said on Jesse Watters Primetime. You need to ask yourself if your distaste over us identifying as Satanists is strong enough that you would abandon the principles of free speech and religious liberty. He definitely looks like somebody I want my kids hanging out with after school. And he says the Satanic Temple is a non-theistic religion that views Satan as a literary figure. I've heard he's written some great books. Who represents a metaphorical construct of rejecting tyranny and championing the human mind and spirit. A flyer on the Satanic Temple's Facebook page reads, "After-school Satan Club does not attempt to convert children to any religious ideology. Instead, the Satanic Temple supports children to think for themselves." And this was that fun-filled flyer that caught the attention of lots of parents in Chesapeake, Virginia, who were like, "Not today, Satan." So a few things that I want to address here. First of all, I love how these people who literally hate the Constitution and hate America and everything that America stands for suddenly burst out the constitutional protections of free speech and religious liberty when they want to normalize dark and destructive ideas, particularly when it comes to exposing children to them. Secondly, the fact that this person doesn't see Satan as evil is a problem in and of itself. Because just because you've decided to water down who Satan is and what Satan stands for and present him as just another idea or religious figure to follow or even non-religious figure to follow, as if it were the same as choosing to follow Jesus Christ, doesn't make it true. And it doesn't make it less destructive to engage in these things. And trying to soften the destruction and pretend that it's something a lot more lighthearted and positive than it is, particularly when it comes to how you're presenting it to children and minimizing the impact that this could have on their lives in a negative way, makes you predatory. And this was another flyer that was sent out to the community of Lancaster, California, which none of us are surprised by because I feel like California is like the real-time version of hell. But this event will obviously be going forward because, you know, if you want to have free speech and religious liberty when it comes to practicing your religion or wanting to read the Bible or wanting to talk about Jesus in public or any of these things, then that doesn't count. But if you want to get out there and talk about Satan with toddlers, then it's totally fine. And this idea that they're not actually trying to convert kids to a religious ideology is deceptive, because it's like when they say that they're not trying to teach kids to be transgender. What they'll do is surround your kids with books about being transgender and movies and characters and homework and online groups and chats and clubs that are surrounded or that are engulfed in these ideas, while simultaneously telling kids that just being a straight boy or girl sucks. And at the same time praising kids who come out as some kind of binary identity. They are hammering down this idea that being a part of these clubs and being a part of this ideology is the cool thing to do. It's the positive thing to do. It's the thing that's going to bring you friends. So no, they're not actively saying, come in and believe what I'm telling you. They're just simply telling you that if you believe anything other than what we're putting in front of you, then that's a terrible, horrible idea that's going to make you miserable and alone. So with these after-school Satan clubs, they may not be trying to convert kids, but activist teachers, school boards, and administrators are sure doing everything they can to publicly demean and criticize Christian values and push the idea that holding these values makes you oppressive, judgmental, and a hateful bigot. And of course, no kid's gonna want to be associated with that, right? And you won't be surprised to find out that the Satanic Temple supports abortion up until the moment of birth and also works to fundraise for children that want to mutilate their bodies through these surgeries that remove their anatomy and render them sterile forever. But child sacrifice, right? A couple more things I want to touch on. First, when they talk about tyranny, their version of tyranny is having any kind of moral boundary, any sense of right and wrong. Like when we say we can't put porn books in schools, and we're not banning them outright from society, but we're saying, hey, this is inappropriate for a child, they think that it is tyrannical to make a judgment, to make legislation, to make laws that says that you can't put that in school. Second of all, when they're talking about free speech, it's kind of along the same idea. They think that they should be able to say and do anything without any kind of limitation, and any limitation that you put on that, whether it be being inappropriate for children or inappropriate for a certain situation or whatever it may be, that goes against free speech. As a society, we have a vested interest in promoting things that are good and positive and moral. And you can't just pass off anything that you want to put in front of kids or anything that you want to normalize in society as being protected under free speech or religious liberty. Because there's a lot of religious organizations that view child sacrifice as a part of their religion, or honor killings as a part of their religion, or child mutilation as a part of their religion, which clearly is a part of this religion. But that doesn't mean that it's okay. There are certain limits, even when it comes to what you say and what you practice. And there is nothing benign or harmless about a child attending a satanic club. There are numerous kinds of clubs that do things like arts and crafts and teach kindness and compassion and work with animals and do science projects. When you have Satan as a central core figure of that club, that is the intention of holding that club. And the arts and the crafts and the other fun activities are meant to draw kids in. It's kind of like the guy with the white van and the candy trying to grab your child. The candy is the arts and crafts, and the van is the satanic club. So let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. I would love to know, do you think that this falls under the free speech protection? Do you think this falls under religious liberty protection? Do you think that we should be allowing this in school under religious liberty? I think not, but I would love to know your thoughts. Once again, thank you so much for joining me in this video. Please hit the like button. That really helps me in the algorithm, and I would love it if you would subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Well, I say, not today, Satan.